Trailers and Trash, testisode number 3. I like to call them testisodes because they're not real episodes. I'm just pretending to be a talk show host. And obviously this isn't a talk show. This kind of goes around and around here, you know.
Sounds a lot like testicles.
It does.
That's another.
I think that's why it's going to appeal to my main demographic,
captive audience,
which is like probably 12-year-old boys.
There you go.
And Jacob.
They like testicles.
Today, really excited about today's episode. We have Bitsy, Tits, Bliss, the burlesque clown, possibly the only burlesque clown. Thank you so much for being here today on Trailers and Trash.
Oh, you're welcome.
Broadcasting live from the outer rim of Missoula, Montana.
Happy to be here. Happy to be here, Nobby.
So, tell me, you're a burlesque clown. Are there any burlesque clowns that you know of?
There is one that I've seen, although I think she's only done, I'm not sure if she is a burlesque clown or if she just has a clown number that she does. And I've also completely forgotten her name.
Oh, sure.
But she's like the one
well,
thing
no
that
plug
comes
for her.
up.
No plug for her. Her big
Well,
break.
if you go on YouTube and look up burlesque clown, she'll show up. She has like one of the rainbow wigs and is like the little clown suit that you see everywhere.
Sure, okay.
Yeah.
But
she looks like a birthday clown.
She's here in town.
And I think she's holding like one leg up like this and going, no, she's not in town.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I haven't seen any. The Cigarette Girls are the only burlesque group in town, and there are no other towns.
It's not a huge thing in Montana.
No, it's not. A few different ones are popping up though around.
Yeah. Your influences and mentors. Ow. It's like television. So, for those that have been living under a rock for 200 years, explain to them what burlesque is.
Burlesque is, well, essentially it's theater at the basis of everything that it is. It is comedy and show, more initially, originally. Like, the original burlesque performances were men wearing, like, pale face, running up and telling jokes that were often, no, they were not in drag.
They were not in drag.
They were wearing suits, but they had their faces paled out, and they were, like, telling dirty jokes.
Okay.
And that's essentially what the deal was. And it eventually evolved into what we now know and love, which is essentially men and women that get on stage in fantastic costumes with fantastic performances involved, usually involving humor, but not always, because there are some saucy bitches out there that do some saucy.
There are, and burlesque has become more wider genre too over the years. Because now there's sci-fi thing. I mean, with pop culture, there's a burlesque show to go with it. You know, whatever the next big thing is.
It's true. Like, we did a Disney themed show recently, and that was good.
Was it good?
Very popular.
Was it good? Did you like it?
I didn't think I was going to. I was actually
you were kind of dreading that.
I was being a little twat about it initially because I thought that getting people to come to your show simply based on the theme alone, like everyone
on a pop culture
Disney,
reference,
and everyone would then go, but they don't actually give a shit about the fact that it's burlesque. I was annoyed about that, but it turned out that it was actually a pretty fucking cool show.
Sweet. Well,
and it kind of made a bunch of people want to go to more shows.
When did you get into burlesque? How long ago?
4 years ago. Essentially,
And how?
Well, well, Humpy, it's a funny story. It's not actually. They were holding auditions, and my sister said, "Hey, do you want to audition for this?" And I was like, "Sure, yeah, okay."
And they're like, "We want you.
Happened.
You got it, kid." They're like, "You got it. We don't know what it is, but you got it."
I believe those are their exact words. Yes. That's pretty much what happened.
That's exciting. And Bitsy Tits Bliss is a burlesque clown.
She is.
Possibly the only one in the business.
I doubt she's the only one in the business.
She's the only one in the business. And if she isn't, she was the fucking first. You are. You were. I'm talking about you in the third person. That's kind of awkward.
Well, there's many of them.
There's many reflections.
Indeed, I was originally Fancy DeVille when I'd auditioned. That was the first name I had, and she was very cabaret.
Which is more? What's the difference between burlesque and cabaret, or is there?
I mean, there's subtle differences, so to speak. Cabaret, quite frankly, doesn't really involve a striptease. Like, you could have a burlesque number in a cabaret act if you wanted.
So cabaret is more the original idea of burlesque, of just incorporating comedy and show.
It is. I mean, I don't have a fucking degree on the subject. I would
Oh,
say
sure you
that
do.
it has
Bullshit. Come on.
I would
A
say
degree from the School of Hard Knocks. Huh? Huh? Huh?
surrounded around cabaret was my emphasis.
Thank you, Jacob. Get a shot of Jacob there.
He also has a degree
Mike.
in cabaret.
Does he? I mean...
You can't tell? Look at him, my God.
Well, he does have the mustache for a good cabaret performance. Who are some of your burlesque influences? I guess. Let's plug the shit out of
Dude.
your influences. Plug them.
To be fair, they don't need to be plugged. They're getting huge these days.
You showed me a YouTube video
I've
that
shown
had
you.
like a lot of. It had like way more than 7, like my channel has, like 7 views total for
Dude,
the
it
lifetime.
had cake, didn't it? Did you watch the one with cake?
I watched the one with cake, yes.
That's my
I was really
favorite
wasted. When you
ever.
send me a link to that, I get really fucking drunk and I watch them and then I don't remember them. That way I can enjoy them again, possibly in the future.
There you go. That's the way to do it. You want to enjoy it over and over again. That's what we want from our audiences too. We want them to be hammered as fuck, so they will be screaming and they will be very excited.
Right.
And then they'll come back later thinking, I remember having a lot of fun, but I have no idea what happened.
So you want your audience to be boisterous. Boisterous? Pun? No.
Boisterous and buxom, if you will.
But what are some of the things that you do not like to see at a burlesque show from the audience? What are some of the things that kind of irritate you, kind of like ruin the show maybe?
Every now and again, there's a person who thinks it's really funny to like take off articles of their clothing and expect us to get excited about it. I know that sounds weird to most of you, that you would go to a burlesque show and like take your shirt off, but it happens, and it's fucking annoying, dude.
Yeah.
Like, what am I supposed to do? Stop what I'm doing and say, "Great, you look great."
Right, and there are certain shows where that's totally appropriate. I was talking about it last episode with Mariah Lara, who used to be in the band Not Knocked Up, where boys were encouraged to take their shirts off, and it was fine.
Well,
but,
yes,
you know,
of course.
Basically, the point is, if they want you to take your shirt off, they'll let you know at any performance.
Yeah, it's generally
they'll let you
accepted
know.
that way.
Yeah.
I feel like there's music performances often where it's encouraged to, whip an article of clothing up and be
Sure.
You know? But if you're trying to like make a spectacle of yourself on stage, taking your clothes off, and you're probably doing dance moves or something theatrical, or you're doing circus tricks, and you're
or you
probably,
think you are. You're convinced you're theatrical.
or you think you are, exactly. Yeah. But it's like rehearsed, and you choreographed it, and it's all done, and then someone runs up screaming and takes
It's not improv.
It's like that.
It's hard planning because there's a lot of small, like 5 to 10 minute maybe segments within the span of 3 hours, and there's a lot of different acts. So there's constantly, there's costume changes, there's prop changes.
There's all kinds of shit.
I'm like an expert on.
Really
I'm an
hard,
expert on
dude.
show business.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I mean, you work really fucking hard. I'm like, let's not be modest here, right? We're all divas. Nobody wants some asshole taking their fucking spotlight away. What the fuck is that about?
Right?
What kind of a dick
I
is
mean,
that?
and there's proper ways to get attention. Yeah. You know who you are.
We all know who you are, actually.
Daryl. And your brother, Daryl. Daryl's. We know who you are. Got your number. Got your name. Beatles reference. Hello. Anyway. So, what are we going to talk about next? I don't know. This is live. I don't know. What do you want to do? You want to talk about dinosaurs?
Your shirt's pretty cool. It looks like it's killing me.
This is Mario of the video game from that game Bubble Bobble. There's a game called Bubble Bobble where you play as Mario, and you gotta like yank turtles by their necks out of these shells and then beat them relentlessly against a shell, and it's called Bubble Bobble. It's for like Atari 3.8 or something. Anyway.
Well, I was deprived of joy as a child, so I don't understand
So one of the things we have planned here today for you, Bitsy, Tits, Bliss, if that is in fact your real name, is a pie eating contest.
Legally given by my parents. Pie?
Yes, pie. We're living in a day and age where things are more mobile and more compact, and I got these key lime pies here.
Oh my, key line.
And I would like to challenge you to a contest. Hey Jacob, could you tilt that screen up just a little bit? Tilt it back just a little bit for the live television.
Oh my goodness, look at that.
There's 0 viewers right now.
What a difference
That's
it
okay.
makes.
What a difference it makes. Wow.
That's
I was like slouching down, you know, to make it so my head wasn't cut off. Yeah.
I
So
can cut your head off.
we're gonna open the pies. And this isn't a real talk show. I'm just pretending to be a talk show host. It's not real. I'm wearing a hat made out of plastic, and I'm drinking some liquor.
Your head is too small.
Go
What's
ahead.
wrong with you?
Let's
Kind of
set
an asshole
him.
has that small of a head.
Let's set him down on the table here. We're gonna cue the music.
With them on the
We're gonna cue the music.
Hold on, I have to be on a talk show really quick.
Gonna cue the music here before we get our pie eating contests on. Jacob is gonna count to 3. He's gonna say 1, 2, 3, go.
Do we have rules?
No, there's no. We have to finish this pie, as much of it in our mouth as we can.
Can we use our hands with this?
Yes, we're using our hands.
Okay.
We are.
I was gonna say, do I have to like?
You can only discard your pie if you're rubbing it on the other person's face.
Is there?
And you can only discard half of your pie. You have to eat the rest.
All right. Do you forfeit a win if you do that? Is it just like a risk you have to be willing to take?
You know, I didn't make the rules, I just enforce them. You can write a letter to committee about that. Anyway. Are you ready? Jacob with the count off?
Yes, I'm ready. I was grabbing the dogs.
1,
You know, like you do.
2.
Don't laugh. You gotta keep a straight face.
3.
It's live fucking television.
I said 3, goddammit!
Three. I feel like there has to be a better. This is a gross pie, dude.
My mouth shut. Oh, it's fucking up like a short.
Sorry, it's in your nose.
Eat it, eat it, eat it, eat it.
Look, I have pie flippers.
No
like
kidding.
a penguin.
Can I put?
Ow! Oh God. What the fuck are we doing
I
right
don't
now?
know, dude. We're shoving pie on our faces. Every now and again, it has to happen.
So I'd like to talk to you. What's your favorite burlesque performance that
My
you've ever
favorite-
done? What was your favorite show?
That I've ever done? Dude, I did a tango once with my sister for a big Halloween show at the Wilma. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And that was pretty good.
Cool.
And then my other favorite is my hip-hop clown piece.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
How's that? How
It's
does
pretty
that
good. You know, it works pretty nicely. I get to have my full clown face. And I
Sure.
get to, like, pull shit out of myself. And it's pretty...
Wait a minute. How do you pull shit out of yourself?
Well, you stash stuff, like, in your underwear, but sometimes when there's not enough room for it to actually fit in your underwear, you have to go in a little bit. Sometimes. You know, just a little. It's fine.
Only the tip.
What?
Only the tip.
Only the tip. Well, it's more like the back end of it, but the tip of the back end. You know, just like, you know, any other job.
Yeah, it's just like any other job. You gotta pull the back end out before you put the forward end out. And this brings me to my next point.
The forward end and the back end, or the pie?
Everybody should quit their Facebooks. Except you, Bitsy. Then you'll be the most famous person on Facebook.
Just me by myself.
Right.
Lonely
How's that?
on Facebook.
Is this fearsome? Do I look like a fearsome warrior?
I don't know if warrior is. Why do I look like a fearsome warrior?
No, yes. Actually, a little bit. Like a fearsome warrior with leprosy, kinda. Is leprosy funny yet? Has it been long enough?
I think it's been funny for a while.
Nice. Alright, well that concludes this episode of Trailers and Trash. Thank you everybody who didn't watch. Thank you everybody for watching in the future. Thank you, Bitsy.
There we go. Stuck right on
Bitsy,
it.
Tits, Bliss, thank you so much for being here. It's been a fucking honor and a pleasure and an honor, and I feel so privileged.
You should.
I really do.
Yeah. You know what should feel privileged? The pie.
I think the pie does feel
I think the
privileged.
pie should feel
I heard
really
it's good for your
privileged.
skin too, actually.
Yeah, you know, it feels like that, have you ever had one of those masks made from, like, a mold of your own face?
I haven't.
Never
Have
had
you?
one? Yeah.
What was that like? How do you
It feels
feel
a lot
about
like
that?
this.
Hey Jacob, could you go ahead and hit the stop broadcast button and say bye to everybody? Go ahead and say bye. Bye!
Bye, everybody.
We sure had fun.
I hope everybody at some point in their life does that with pie. Dude, that is the yuckiest pie you could possibly